Emotions are high in a courtroom. Fates are at stake. Whatever happens in there has the power to change someone's life forever. When people are on edge, there's a higher likelihood of emotional outbursts, disagreements, and even worse. Check out these stories of courtroom outbursts that went too far. Webb, a 33-year-old Kentucky man, attempted to run over two police officers with his car. He barely missed one, but the other received a severe injury. While in court for this offense in 2009, Judge Vanessa Dixon recused herself from the trial, saying she knew and was close to the two officers he tried to hit. When she explained that she couldn't stand to look at his face, he spat at her. Since then, Webb has been charged with spitting on another corrections officer. He pled not guilty to both charges and received 2 years added to his sentence. Webb's original charges date back to the demise of two of his ex-girlfriends. In 2003, Webb's girlfriend Sabrina Vaughn went missing. Webb was questioned, but no charges were brought against him. In 2009, Webb was dating Bria Runowitz when she grew tired of his jealousy and broke up with him. A few days later, he broke into her home in the middle of the night as her two daughters slept and attacked her, leaving her headless body on the living room sofa. That's when he took off, headed to the police station, and tried to hit the two officers. He told them they needed to find Bria before his daughters did. He received a sentence of 50 years. While doing his time, police uncovered the remains of Sabrina Vaughn and charged him in her case as well. He pleaded not guilty, but was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. 26-year-old Christopher Teel made the news twice for his despicable behavior, both in the courtroom and out. He is incarcerated for a 2018 forcible statutory offense against a woman in the bathroom stall of a car dealership in a neighborhood of Seattle, Washington. Teel appeared in King County Court in February 2020 with his lawyers for a competency hearing when he turned and slapped his lawyer in the face, unprovoked, as the judge spoke to them. A gasp erupted from the courtroom as 4 armed deputies immediately took him down to the ground and restrained him. He was returned to his cell. His lawyer, Reed Birkeland, withdrew from the case but told the press, "I hold no ill will against Mr. Teel." Teel's original charges stem from an incident where he followed a 40-year-old woman into a restroom at a Volkswagen dealership and locked her inside. According to the police report, Teel told the woman, "You want this, and God wants this." He was in the process of attacking her when a shuttle driver came to the door looking for her. The driver was able to tackle and restrain Teel, who was nude from the waist down until police arrived. Teel was taken into custody, where he admitted his actions to the police. Teel is part of a growing homeless problem in the Ballard neighborhood that has his neighbors demanding replacements in their city council. He is still awaiting sentencing on these charges. Dale Williams' sentencing hearing took a surprising turn. A frightening outburst occurred during the sentencing hearing of 62-year-old Dale Williams in Ohio in July 2020. Williams admitted to taking of Elizabeth Stewart with his gun in 2017. As Elizabeth's daughter was about to make her statement, her two brothers jumped over the railing and grabbed for Williams. As they took him to the ground and began to punch him, armed guards jumped into the melee and attempted to drag the brothers off Williams. A massive brawl broke out in the courtroom that deputies struggled to control. Eventually, they tased one of the brothers. Both were taken into custody for contempt of court on a 30-day sentence. Williams' charges stem from his grisly attack against Elizabeth Stewart in broad daylight. It is unclear if the two had a romantic relationship, but Elizabeth had called the police and filed a report against Williams the night before her demise. She told the police that Williams was angry with her and promised to catch her on the street and make her pay. Witnesses say they saw Williams slam into Stewart's car with his own vehicle several times until she got out and ran. He followed behind her, emptying his gun into her back along the way. When police arrived, he was still firing. He readily admitted what he'd done and was apprehended immediately. Williams faced sentencing in July 2019. Elizabeth's family told the judge how loved she was and how much they would miss her. Williams refused his opportunity to speak and did not comment when the judge sentenced him to 23 years to life. Chaos in the courtroom as judge is attacked. Mississippi Judge Aubrey Rimes was holding court in January 2021 when county inmate Sidney Newsome began struggling with the bailiff. He threw papers, a telephone, and other items towards the judge as the bailiff struggled to control him. Eventually, Judge Rimes comes off the bench himself, picks Newsome up off the ground, and slams him down on a table where he is restrained. Sidney was in custody for a domestic charge. Authorities are working to ensure an incident like this never happens again. Sheriff James Brumfield told the press that he is developing a plan that includes placing officers in the courtroom during arraignments, something that was not previously required. Courtroom outburst during trial of Hell's Angels leader. During the June 2020 resentencing trial of Adam Lee Hall, leader of a sect of the Hell's Angels motorcycle group, for taking the of 3 men, Hall shouted an expletive at the prosecuting attorney as he described Hall's action on that night.
20 miles away at a barbecue.
Prosecutors believe Hall and 2 accomplices shot and dismembered David Glasser, Edward Frampton, and Robert Chadwell, then transported the remains to a rural area and covered them with dirt. Police were able to locate the site within 13 days. He claims he was nowhere near where the act took place. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences for the 2010 case. In 2020, the Supreme Court rejected his request for a new trial and upheld the 3 felony demise charges. 1 charge of was dismissed. Jeffrey Dahmer trial courtroom outburst. The most infamous courtroom outburst of all may be that of Rita Isbell, the sister of Errol Lindsay, one of the men who died at the hands of cannibal serial offender Jeffrey Dahmer. She was only a few feet away from Dahmer in the courtroom as she shouted in an obscenity-filled rant filled with sorrow. Errol Lindsay was a 19-year-old choir boy at a Baptist church when he met Jeffrey Dahmer outside a mature bookstore. He agreed to go back to Dahmer's apartment with him. Isbell's statement was the last in a series of sad and angry comments made by family members of his targets, whose remains filled Dahmer's Milwaukee apartment in the early 1990s. Dahmer received 15 consecutive life sentences in 1992. His own life ended in an altercation with another inmate in 1994.
I'm mad. This is how you act when you are out of control. I don't want to ever see my mother have to go through this again.
How do you feel about these courtroom outbursts? Would you be able to hold your tongue if it was your loved one? Leave your comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more fresh content every week.